Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Wright and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. This will be the finale of the series. I hope you have been enjoying it as much as I've enjoyed creating it. If you've missed the previous 23 chapters, I will link them in the description box below. Stay tuned for bloopers at the end. Now, enjoy the last chapter of Happy With You. I Still Love You.
Plague, claws in.
A green flash blinded Marinette's teary eyes. She shielded her face, half in embarrassment and half because of the light. His blonde hair ruffled as his transformation ended. She slowly opened her eyes as she saw the sheepish boy standing in front of her. His green eyes gauged her reaction. Her hands flew up to her face to stop herself from gasping. Try as she might, she cried harder, tears soaking through her lavender sweater. Her partner's face fell, defeated.
I'm sorry, Marinette. I thought you might be disappointed.
He refused to meet her eyes. He had already broken her heart enough as Adrien. He couldn't bear to see the look of disappointment on her face. What? She didn't give him time to answer before collapsing into his chest. Adrien aggressed, she said with a playful lilt in her voice. It's you. How could I possibly be disappointed? She hugged him tighter and nuzzled into him.
Really?
He whispered into her hair. She pulled away slightly to look at his face. Of course, silly kitty. I'm sorry about everything that has happened this past month.
Don't apologize. I'm the one who should apologize.
He dragged her over to sit on the chaise longue and placed the cat pillow behind his back, and he cradled Marinette in between his legs against his chest. Let's just call it a truce, okay? She giggled. How he had missed that giggle. His heart lit up.
As you wish, princess.
His voice was as smooth as butter, nearly like a purr. He and Cat Noir were so similar, it's amazing she didn't see it sooner. The thought amused her. Princess, huh? That's a new one, she teased.
Oh, sorry.
She couldn't see it, but his face flushed brighter than the pink walls of her bedroom. I didn't say I didn't like it. She squeezed his thigh and repositioned herself to be sitting on his lap with her hands gently placed around his neck. He hesitated for a moment, then put his on her waist. Adrien. She desperately wanted to look away, but she held his gaze, her pink cheeks burning.
Yes?
He choked out. I still love you, Adrien. I never stopped loving you, you know. Marinette's hands now gingerly cupped his face, staring into his emerald eyes. She couldn't blame him if he didn't feel that way about her anymore, but she could hope. After all, she did disappear without so much as a word. She didn't have many regrets in life, but this was her biggest one. She loved Adrien fiercely and wanted to be with him. She just hoped it wasn't too late. He sighed heavily that morphed into a slight chuckle.
Honestly, I'm just relieved. I've never been happier than when I'm with you, Marinette. And when I thought things were over between us, I was devastated. I love you, Marinette.
Her heart swelled at the words she had longed to hear. He made motions to stand and took her hands in his. He stood a head taller than her, blonde hair falling in his eyes as he peered down at her, a shy smile displayed on his face. So much had happened in less than a year. They had fallen in love and broken up. They discovered the other's secret identities, and now there were no more secrets. Everything was out in the open.
Actually, my lady, I have something for you.
He scratched his cheek nervously. He had purchased this gift over a month ago, but there had been no right time to give it to her. Now, after everything that had happened, he didn't want to wait another second. Ooh, a gift? For me? She flirted, but hadn't really expected anything. But then he held out a small blue velvet box. With wide eyes and mouth opened, she stammered, "Is that a... She couldn't finish her sentence. She didn't want to jump to conclusions, but...
A ring? Uh-huh.
He said, attempting to appear nonchalant. Then he registered the shock on Marinette's face.
Oh, but, I'm not proposing.
He chuckled nervously, then cleared his throat. She looked at him skeptically.
What I mean is that, I really love you. And I know that we are still in high school, but I couldn't imagine my life without you. So...
He opened the blue velvet box to reveal a ring, the daintiest little ring Marinette had ever seen. The band of the ring was rose gold and intertwined around itself with diamonds along the band and one slightly larger stone in the center. Marinette's hands jolted up to her face. "Adrien! This must have cost you a fortune!" He rubbed the back of his neck, still holding the open box.
It wasn't so bad. I do a lot of modeling and commercials, so I had some money put back.
She giggled as he cleared his throat.
Marinette Depang Chang.
He got down on one knee in her bedroom that held so many fond memories and was about to hold one more.
Will you marry me someday?
He looked up at her with hopeful eyes. She teared up, and there was only one clear answer. She wiped her eyes, smiling. "Of course, Adrien! Yes!" She eagerly held out her hand. He put the small ring on her marriage finger. It was a perfect fit, like it was made just for her. She grabbed him by the shirt collar and pulled him into a kiss. His lips felt familiar. His warmth surrounded her as she was engulfed in his scent and his very being. This moment was perfect. Marinette had a hard time believing that just an hour prior she was nearly gone. But now she was here with him. Their embrace was broken up too soon by the sound of cackling outside. They caught sight of an akumatized villain wreaking havoc outside of Marinette's window. Her almost fiancé smirked at her and said,
"Are you ready, my lady?"
"Ready. Together?" She squeezed his hands as she grabbed her Miraculous from the box they had been waiting in.
"Together, Bugaboo."
"Okay." With Tiki back at her side, Marinette was ready to take action, and with Adrien, who turned out to be her beloved partner, she felt unstoppable. The two joined hands facing the open window, and then...
Tiki, claws out!
On! The masked heroes gave one more kiss and a singular nod of determination before soaring out the window together to save Paris once more. Now in this moment, even fighting villains, Marinette was happy. Truly happy. Happier to be alive than she had ever been in her entire life. Thank you so much for listening to my series finale of Happy With You. Drop a comment below telling me what you thought. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. That would help me out a lot. I will be writing a sequel to this series that will be called A Miraculous Search, where the crew is aged up. So stay tuned for that. As always, stay miraculous. And now, time for some bloopers.
Honestly, I'm just relieved. I've never been happier than when I'm with you, Marinette. And when I thought things were over between us, I was devastated. I love you, Marinette. I have something. You.
Okay, are you ready?
I need to learn how to talk.
Okay.
Actually, my lady, I have something for you.